Welcome to another episode of CardBlitz. I'm your host, Kelly Reed, joined by my good friend, my co-host, Patrick Marshall. Patrick, how's it going?
What's up, guys? How you doing, Kelly?
Good, man. Hey, you ready to cue up some Sammy Hagar? It is episode 55.
That's right. Oh, we could do that.
You can't drive 55, right?
Correct. That's right. That's right. I can't get my car to second gear sometimes.
And so, Sammy Hagar, you ever want to jump on board and talk cards with us, Sammy? In honor of episode 55, give us a shout, man.
Yeah, that's great.
Well, I don't know about you, but in North Carolina, but here in Dallas, we've been suffering through Dalaska. We've been under ice and stuff. It's beginning to finally kind of thaw out here. I'm sure we'll be like back at it at work and everything in the workaday world by Friday, but right now it's ugly out there.
Yeah, it's Charlotte was not spared either from the ice, but we kids went back to school today, which was great. I got actually a day of work in yesterday and today, which is it's going to be good. So, but yeah, things shut down, man. City shut down, and Dallas is a concrete jungle, so there's roads everywhere. It's not
Yeah,
safe.
definitely, man. One of the things I was going to mention is you brought up the fact that this weekend, Charlotte's looking at more snow and ice.
Yeah, but not too much ice. It's going to be a lot of snow. It's going to be like they call it the bomb apocalypse or something like that. It's like the perfect. It's when the millibars of the weather of the pressure come down like 25 on the scale. It's going to drop down like 40, which means moisture is being brought up, cold air coming down. Perfect scenario for a blizzard, which is going to be strange. But even on the coast, like along the coast of Charleston and North Carolina, then Virginia, they're going to get tons of snow, and they're going to have 50 to 60-mile-per-hour winds. So it's pretty
So you're
crazy.
you're gonna be dad lifing it and making snow castles and maybe get the sled out and stuff like that and be getting
Oh
after.
yeah, the sleds are ready from last weekend. They got worked. They got broken in again. I think we're going to have a snowman building contest. I think that's going to be my claim to fame. I'm going to be the
Kids,
judge.
kids will love that, man. That'll be
Yeah,
good.
yeah. So
All right, Blitz fans, that's your news update for weather. And
that's
now
right.
back to the cards. Well, man, you want to talk about birthdays and stuff? Got anyone on?
Yeah, yeah. We talk about birthdays. I mean, this is pretty cool. So this guy, when I was really in collecting, the mayor of Juan Antonio Satillo municipality, Mr. Magglio Ordonez, is apparently in politics now.
Oh,
He was an incredible Venezuelan-born player, that played in Major League Baseball for I think 15 years, and he had a 309 average as a career with 2,156 hits. I didn't realize he was that good of a player, but six-time All-Star. I think he was MVP or the 2007 batting champ. Hit like 363. I mean, 139 ribbies that year. I mean, it was pretty impressive. So
didn't the
I'm
White
kind of
Sox
happy.
win a World Series in what was that, '06 or '07, I think?
Yeah, you're right. He's a World Series champion. So I was impressed that he only hit 294 home runs, but he had like 1,200 plus RBIs with a 300 batting average and 2,156 hits. I mean, that's pretty solid career.
He's consistent. Is he in the Hall of Fame, or is he even like a border kind of player? Or
I think he's your border guy. I mean, and we should have an episode like that one week where we talk about
like
guys like this.
on the
Yeah,
cusp of making it or breaking it, and seeing if they can
on the
get in or
cusp.
not?
Yeah, because I think Hall of Fame, and we'll get into that as well. But I think the Hall of Fame voting is you need longevity of excellence, over time. The overall number doesn't seem to matter as much anymore. But if you dominate or change the landscape of the game for 8 to 10 years, I think you have a legitimate shot. Or at your position, you rechange the way your position is played. That really affects baseball. I mean, I think that's pretty impressive. So I don't know if Magglio did that at being an outfielder, but you can't lie about his stats of what he did in a short period of time. So
That and his bat, being consistent, and
yeah,
so yeah, future Card Blitz episode we can get into those cusp Hall of Very Good / Hall of Fame quality players.
yeah, because if he would have played 3 or 4 more years, like I think he could have, I think injuries may have derailed him a couple times, but you're looking at 350 home runs, maybe 1,350 ribbies, still over 300, 2,500 hits. Starting to talk legitimacy. So,
Hmm.
but happy birthday, Magglio Ordonez, the mayor.
Mayor. Well, my
Yeah.
man turned 49. He's from Central Florida. He went to Central Florida. He is none other than Daunte Culpepper.
Yeah. I mean, when he burst on the scene, he was dynamite.
Oh,
Yeah.
definitely, man. He spent his formative years or his early years, there in Minnesota with the great Randy Moss, and
Yeah.
you know, but he was a load to try to bring down too if he ever took off. Like those corners, safeties, they're not going to bring him down. He's like 250 pounds, and
Yeah. He's a big boy.
hard to defend as a dual threat. When he decided to get after it. Um, he's another player though that at the turn of the century he had a big impact on the game, and I remember his cards being like so hot back in the early aughts, and fantasy football wise, like I remember at my draft in 2000 walking in, I had like the last pick, and I was the last guy walking in, and they're like, "Hey, Kelly, who you taking?" Because you got the last pick of this round, the first pick of the next round, and I took Daunte Culpepper at the end of the first. And that turned out to be a great pick. Then I
Yeah.
took Emmitt Smith at the start of the second round, and that turned out to be a horrible draft pick because apparently the Cowboys' offensive line that year forgot how to block, and so Emmett was not as productive as I wanted him to be.
It's the same fantasy football drafts for like 5 or 6 years in a row. You take Dallas Clark as your tight end and you just dominate. Jamal Charles back in the day, those
Dude, yeah, Curtis Martin, Marshall Faulk, and
the 2000s rolled on. I mean, they had some solid producing fantasy players. So,
well, I was to say, man. Speaking of one Emmitt Smith, I found this card. I don't know if you can see it very well. It's this crazy die cut Stadium Club card. It's
really,
called
look at that. Yeah.
yeah, it's called like Luminous,
Okay.
and it got me to thinking. January 28th, 1996. I was living over in Taiwan. Dallas Cowboys were in the Super Bowl, and they beat the Steelers. I think it was like 27-17 that year, Super Bowl 30. Well, here we are 30 years later. Dallas Cowboys haven't even sniffed a Super Bowl, let alone made it to a NFC title game. That's been the talk, man. The 30 for 30 here in Dallas. Everyone's talking about that. Like, first 30 years, they're in 8 Super Bowls. You think, hey, they're rocking. Next 30 years, nothing.
Yeah. I just think, I don't know if, obviously Jerry Jones, he can take credit for those Super Bowls, but it's for a limited point, what he's done after, not even being consistent and getting your team back into contention quickly. I look at someone like the Patriots. They lose one of the greatest coaches to ever coach, Bill Belichick, and they hire an ex-player, but the formula is still there of how to be a champion. I don't know if the Cowboys need to find that again. I'm not quite sure what's holding them back, but I think that playoff loss to Green Bay that just showed you whatever that formula was. I guess it doesn't work. I don't know. It's a strange thing because the players were in the right spots.
But they look back and they say Dez made the catch.
Yeah, I don't know. It's frustrating. I try to analyze it. You overanalyze it. You almost just say, "Do we need a new owner?" I don't know. So
Interesting, man. Well,
yeah,
Jerry can take credit for, like you said, purchasing the team, initially getting the ball rolling, but he's also going to take the hits when the Cowboys aren't having the
yeah,
success that fans want. You're spot on though. The Tony Romo years and Des Bryant years, even with T.O., the Cowboys had a decent product, and like you said, you just couldn't get over that hurdle to make it back to the promised land.
yeah.
And now they're calling it the curse of Jerry Jones. So, Jerry, I don't know what to tell you, man. With the love comes the hate. And as a Cowboys fan, I want the Cowboys back in the Super Bowl.
Now, is Jerry Jones still acting as the GM of the Cowboys?
Yes, very much
Okay.
so.
Yeah, I think that's that's where you start. I think you start there. Every owner of teams that make the playoffs in a consistent fashion, or basically they have a GM. The GM takes the fall or the hit when things don't go well coach and the GM are probably gone, or in other cases, like's happened a lot this year with the coaching carousel of letting long tenured coaches go. The GM has stayed, and the coaches gets replaced. So if the nucleus of the team is still strong, then all these other players, you're going to have years where they're not good or they're close. Then you'll have a year where everything kind of falls into line, and you make the playoffs, you win a game in the playoffs. We just can't even get to that. So it's frustrating.
Well, your
I don't know.
Panthers have definitely, and your Texans have made it back
Yep.
to the playoffs before the Cowboys now.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. I'm like, the Panthers making it. I'm like, okay, what's wrong with the Cowboys? Let's go.
Yeah, very interesting. And speaking of Bill Belichick, he didn't make the Hall of Fame apparently. Needed 40 votes and couldn't get over that hump.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I mean, there was 11 voters who did not vote him as a first-time Hall of Fame ballot, and there's some chatter now. I think their names have been shown on who they were, who the voters were. And there was one article I read, this morning about the guy who represents Kansas City media, and he says, I don't want to misspoke. I hope I don't want to be taken out of context, and I didn't misspeak, but I think Belichick is a Hall of Famer, but not a first-time ballot Hall of Famer, which I thought was unique. So they're giving people like Kenny Anderson, Roger Craig, guys who are on the ballot of players ahead of coaches. It's hard to. I think that's not the right way to do it. I think you take who that person is, what he's contributed to the sport, thus he's a Hall of Famer. So I never liked the Patriots, but I respect Bill Belichick. I think, he's an 8-time, Super Bowl champion, 2 as a assistant coach and 6 as a head coach. I mean, how do you, I don't know. How do you overlook that?
Most wins in NFL playoff history, and then like second most all time in wins. The question of morality and ethics, does that, how much does that impact and weigh in? And that could be a future CardBlitz episode too, man.
Well, let's put it this way. Okay, say Deflategate pushes him back.
Spygate,
Pushes
lots
him
of
back
gates.
until both gates pushes him back until the next ballot where he automatically gets into the Hall of Fame. Is that what's going on here? I don't know.
Hmm.
So I would believe that to be true. So
Way too early, but this episode we're recording it ahead of time because of the upcoming snowstorm in Charlotte. Playoff prediction, or sorry, Super Bowl prediction, Super Bowl 60. Who you
yeah,
got? Patriots, Seahawks, and why? And score.
I think I'm going to do it from a guy who likes to bet $1 on these kind of things.
And we're not
Uh,
endorsing this whole
yeah,
gambling thing here in the state of Texas, but
yeah.
uh, if you were to do a friendly wager,
I'm taking the Patriots and the over. Even though we've got 2 really good defenses, I've never seen a Super Bowl that's been like 13-10, or in the modern era. I mean, there's some points scored, so I think both teams have a chance to score some points. Got 2 good quarterbacks, two aggressive coaches on the conservative side defensively, but I think they let it all go. They let it all hang out in this game, and I just think the Patriots kind of have a chip on their shoulders. Seattle's a good team; their
mhm.
defense is great, but the Patriots have 2 good running backs as well that could maybe one of them gets outside, breaks something open, softens it up a little bit, and then you have Drake May. I mean, he's been pretty solid, so I'm kind of leaning towards the Patriots. How about yourself, Kelly?
Well, much like Super Bowl 49, I'm going with my heart. My heart says Seattle.
Yeah,
Can I give to the evil empire of the Patriots
I know.
as a Cowboys fan?
It's hard. Yes, I know.
Um, but realistically speaking, it's going to be a close game. I could see it being, a 24-20 kind of game with either team getting the touchdown at the end to win it all. So we'll see.
Kind of like the last person with the ball, and special teams will probably come into play on this. They always do. I mean, flipping the field. I mean, there's a lot of strategy behind this. It's going to be fun to watch. So,
Definitely. So put on record, Kelly says Seahawks 24-20 over Patriots.
yeah, I'm going to go Patriots 30-24.
Well, we'll see,
So,
man.
okay.
Speaking of cards, because Card Blitz is about cards, going through some cards and got this one sent to me by the great Royce Waxenfelter. from Viking Wax Press. None other than this custom-made card. And if you ain't first, you're last. Great Ricky Bobby.
That's
One of
great.
one, autographed by the great Royce Waxenfelter.
Nice.
Dude, just like the Wonder Bread cards from 76, man.
Yeah, that's great.
And
That's Ricky Bobby. That's
Ricky Bobby, and then I got your care package, and going through these 81 tops, sitting here looking at this wonderful Raleigh Fingers card,
yeah.
you know, and I'm starting to fall more and more like in love with this card set. The design, the photos, the little hat. I'm thinking to myself, man, this is pretty darn cool. And he does a lot of TTM, so I might send off a copy of old Raleigh here to get signed by Mr. Raleigh Fingers
That's a
himself.
great idea. I haven't. We should have another episode on that. Like back in the day, I used to send cards to all the players to get autographed, and got quite an autograph collection because of it. I would love to do that again.
Dude,
I
his
mean, that'd be
stash is
fun.
all waxed up. He's got that grin. Like, he's
Yeah.
sitting there in the dugout going, "What are you doing,
How
man?"
do you spell relief? That's what you need to put in your letter to him.
Yeah, Raleigh, let's
How do you
talk,
spell
man.
relief, my friend?
So how about you, man? You got any show and tell cards, or you want to just
I
jump
really,
into it? What are you thinking?
I'm going to dive into some show and tell a little bit later.
Okay.
So I've got some really cool stuff to show you guys. So, but shall we touch base on some of our Hall of
Yeah,
Fame inductees?
definitely, man. I'm all ears. You're the stats guy.
All right, cool. This player, Mr. Carlos Beltran, made the Hall of Fame, and I was very impressed with his numbers. Um, the guy had like 1,500 RBIs, 1,587 RBIs, which puts him in a rare class, and
Hmm.
2,725 hits, something like that. 9-time All Star. You look at his numbers, and I didn't realize that his numbers were that good. It was impressive. So when I heard that he made the Hall of Fame with 435 home runs, I was like, okay, makes sense.
Now, is that the Astros fan in you coming out?
That 2017 year was great, but I remember him being on other teams besides the Astros. But when the Astros got him, he made legitimacy happen for a batter who in the clutch could come through, and I think that was important because there's a lot of Astro teams with Bagwell and Biggio that failed. I mean, those guys and
Yeah, the
Berkman,
Killer Bees.
yeah, the Killer Bees, those guys could not do anything in the postseason. And it was horrible to watch. They had great years, great seasons, and then they bat like 50, like oh
They got
50.
they got Randy Johnson, the big unit. I thought that was the year they were going to do it to it. You got
Yeah,
Roger Clemens at the end of his career. Yeah, like you're getting these stud pitchers. You got
and
this young
Andy Pettit,
lineup, man.
yeah, Andy Pettit came, and I'm like, it was, it was. I mean, there's a feeling of domination. We got it. Well, those pieces didn't make it. Didn't make it happen. So
And then what was that 06 when y'all did make it? Yeah, man, it's heartbreak.
yeah, it was
Don't
tough.
worry,
I mean,
my Rangers did that too in 2010 and 2011. Like 2010, happy to be there. 2011 against the Cardinals, and if nerding out with cards, John's watching this. John, I'm telling you, man, it is a dagger, man. Cardinals, just Rangers. His joy, my pain.
yeah,
So I relate to you on that, man.
didn't Pujols just kind of go crazy in that World Series?
Well, yeah, he and David Freese, who the Rangers signed the next
Oh
year, and
yeah, that's right.
after that 2011 World Series, I'm just like, oh, how could you sign this? And Neftali Feliz melting down on the mound, and Cruz
Oh
was
yeah, that's right.
playing the ball, and ah,
Yeah.
card blitz moment there, man. I was just like losing my mind.
The power of Rusty Greer couldn't take us over the top.
For the
Couldn't
power
take
of
the
Josh Hamilton,
yeah.
dude,
Yeah,
went to
Josh
extra
Gibson.
innings in the sixth. He does that 2-run shot. You think, okay, hey, it is legit good, and
Yeah.
not meant to be, man. Heartbreak City.
Yep. Well, Mr. Carlos Beltran was not the only outfielder to make the Hall of Fame. This young guy, who I still call him young, made the Hall of Fame as well, Mr. Andrew Jones. And what's unique about Andrew Jones that I thought at first, if you hear that, I'm like, does he have the numbers to make the Hall of Fame? I didn't really think of him as a Hall of Fame kind of player, but his numbers don't lie. I mean, he hit 434 home runs and had 1,289 RBIs. But I think what made it special for him is Andrew Jones kind of redefined the way to play center field. I mean, when he came up, I remember he was just, I mean, the guy was like a gazelle, man. He was so fluid. He's a 10-time Gold Glover. I mean, I'm happy to see that voting and ballots recognize your defensive prowess, even if he only hit like 250 in his career.
Yeah, but Andrew Jones, I remember I was living in Taiwan at the time. 1996 World Series with was it 90? Yeah, 96 World Series. Braves and Yankees. Andrew Jones was a hot commodity. He goes up and hits like was it 2 home runs and
Yeah, didn't he hit a home run his first at bat in the World Series?
yeah,
Something like that.
the pride of Curacao there, man. You're thinking
Yeah,
like this guy's rocking. He's going to be something special, and sure enough, he was good.
yeah.
Hall of Fame great.
I mean, he was a young player. I mean, he played from 96 to 2012. So very solid career. And I think he ended his career with the Yankees. So I'm not mistaken. I mean, I may be wrong on that.
As you mentioned, the old carousel keeps going round and round.
But what's unique is after Andrew Jones left Major League Baseball, he went to Japan and hit 50 home runs there in the Nippon League. And I was like, I didn't even know that. So when you put it all together, he's almost hit 500 home runs in professional baseball. It's kind of crazy. So
kind of the flip of one Ichiro Suzuki, right?
That's right.
What he did early on, and now the great Shohei Ohtani. So.
And here's something very unique about these two Hall of Famers. And we touched on this before, but Andrew Jones and Carlos Beltran were born one day apart. They're almost exactly the same age.
The same year?
In the same year. Same
one day apart between the two.
Yes. And they in their professional career, they hit one home run difference. 434 for Andrew Jones and 435 for Carlos Beltran. Now, if you're a numbers guy, you're like, what? And they're both in the Hall of Fame. Same year, same ballot. They're also on their team's Hall of Fame. Beltran is a Mets Hall of Famer. Obviously, Andrew Jones in the Braves Hall of Fame. I was trying to dig deeper to see, okay, were they both rookies of the year? Unfortunately, not. Beltran was rookie of the year. Andrew Jones is not rookie of the year that I know of, but I don't think he was. Anyways, but I'm starting to go too deep. But it's pretty cool. Born one day apart, hit one home run difference between the two. Almost exactly the same age, both in the Hall of Fame the same year. It's pretty cool. So
the numerology and the comparisons, very interesting. Kind of brings me to the point of like this whole like ethics or morality aspect of these halls with Belichick. You can look at Beltran and even like Andrew Jones' domestic issues after baseball. Like, do you think that should play an impact? And if so, how much? Or is it just like between the lines of gridiron and hardwood and baseball diamond and the ice and hockey?
Yeah. It's a good point. I mean, I say if prison time or something were to take place after something of that nature, or during
free, because if you say after, you would look at someone like O.J. Simpson and be like, "Hey, do you take him out?"
No, I'm not saying you take anybody out, but I'm saying if something were to happen, maybe after their playing
days, pre-induction.
Yeah, right.
There might be some gray there.
I think so. I think you have to consider that. If you did something illegal like the old Balco thing, we all know what's the black mark that left on baseball. I mean, I don't think that's going to be a long time. I don't think that's ever going to change. I don't know. But then Pete Rose was inducted. So.
Well, no, he's not inducted. He's eligible.
Oh, he's eligible. No, sorry. Yes.
He will be eligible. He will be able to, him, Joe Jackson, a few of the other Black Sox.
Yeah.
You're bringing up all these potential ideas for future episodes about, the steroid era players. Should they get in? Shouldn't they? Was it a sign of the times? Kind of talked about Brady Anderson, remember, a couple episodes back.
Yep.
Very, very interesting, man. A lot of deep talk we could have here.
Yeah.
But let's talk cards, man.
You got it. Yeah. I mean, anyways, congratulations to Carlos Beltran and his buddy, Andrew Jones. They're forever entwined and they don't even know it.
One day apart. and one home run apart.
That's right. Pride of Curacao, and it's in Puerto Rico, so pretty amazing.
Interesting, man. Well, let's kind of start wrapping this up with your thoughts on one of your favorite sets.
Yes. So let's do a deep dive. This is a set that actually I'm going to show you the cards. Back in the day, in mid 80s, I used to collect a lot of cards and get into it. One of my favorite sets was 1986 Donruss. And the funny thing is, we used to go to a stop and go in Houston. I grew up in Houston, obviously. And there was a stop and go on Rayford Sawdust Road in the Woodlands.
That's a
And you
convenience store, right? Because we have that
correct.
here in Dallas too.
Okay, so yeah, stop and go. So those who don't know, it's like a Wawa up in the Northeast or something like that, or
7-Eleven,
yeah,
basically.
7-Eleven. And used to buy a case of packs, a box for $12.
You could buy a box of Donruss 86 for $12.
That's right. And I'd go in there and, I mean, I could save $12 back in the day. I didn't have it all the time, but
When you did,
I did. And I was able to put together quite a few sets, and you were always guaranteed like 2 Jose Canseco rookie cards in one of those boxes. What are the ones that I had? And I ended up getting like something like 6 Jose Canseco rookies. And at the time, the hot cards in that set were 86 Jose Canseco, which I'll show you if everyone remembers this rated rookie card of Jose Canseco. If you could see that.
yeah.
Super hot card. I mean, cool. This man, the big cat, Andres Galarraga.
Another birthday boy we've celebrated here on
Yep.
CardBlitz.
Super cool. And another Hall of Famer that just kind of flew under the radar, Fred, the crime dog,
Yes.
Fred McGriff. I mean, you used to be able to get these cards. It's not like today. I mean, you would open a pack, you'd be like, oh, yes, a rated rookie. And it'd be, Jose Canseco.
Fred McGriff.
And
Andres
another,
Galarraga.
yeah. And another favorite card of mine that was in that set, which is really cool, is this guy, Mr. Cecil Fielder. So pretty cool. I mean, the home run bashing machine. So, but one of my favorite cards that came in that set, which we just touched on him a moment ago, was this one when Pete Rose broke Ty Cobb's all-time hits record. Kind of a cool card.
Yeah.
It was a big moment. In 86, a lot happened. 85, a lot happened. The cards came out, and I thought this was really cool. So, I mean, back in the day when you got a Pete Rose card, it meant something when you're a collector.
Well, it still means something to me now. Like,
yeah,
when I'm going through my cards, I'm like, oh, hey, 77 set, 78, 79, 80, Pete Rose. It takes you back. It's that nostalgia factor.
yeah. I mean, I think it's really cool. I mean, that was a really cool set.
Well, let me
Another
ask
funny,
you this, man.
yeah.
So you buy a pack. Do you remember how many cards were per pack? Where it was like 10, 12, 8?
I think it was 12 or 15, something like that. Yeah, back in the day, it was
Putting
a
it
full
up the
pack.
old wax there, and
Yeah, yeah,
okay.
yeah. It was cool. And the funny thing is, later on, after the years go by, I've got these cards that I've collected. Got about 6 Cansecos. When I was in college, Canseco, kind of exploded onto the scene, and his cards just got hot. And I would come back from college, and I would go to the local card shop, and I would bring a Canseco with me, and I'd sell it for like $60 to the dealer. And I would have
a lot of money. Was this like the early 90s, late 80s?
Yeah, early 90s. And I would always have cash on hand when I'd come back into town. And I did that like 2 or 3 times. And in my mind, I'm like going, is Canseco, can he prolong this career and hit 700 home runs? I was like, well, I need
him and McGuire in the Bash Brothers era, and they were winning, the World Series, went back to back and then lost to the Giants.
Yep.
Was it was it the Giants or the Dodgers they lost to?
Oh, I forget that now. But I remember that. I mean, that team was pretty amazing.
Oh yeah, man.
But I just remember, he became the first player to join the 40-40 club, 40 home runs and 40 stolen bases. And I was like, dude, this guy is a stud.
Superman.
Yeah. So I always liked him a lot. But it was pretty funny, those $12 boxes, those wax boxes I bought, getting a couple Cansecos and then flipping them for like 50 or 60. It was fun.
Patrick, as I reflect on it, I think A's beat the Giants in that series with the earthquake, and then I think it was the
Correct.
Dodgers had the walk-off homer
Yeah,
that to beat the A's that year. Let me ask you this: how many? So do you still have a lot of complete sets of 86 Donruss?
I do. Let me show you. So I've got a hand collated set in a box like this. I've got a set in a binder, and I've also got this baby. This is really cool. I'm really proud of this one. I've got a factory sealed 86 Donruss set, which is really cool.
Nice.
Yeah. So let's.
And the puzzle pieces that go with it, right?
Oh, I got the puzzle pieces. You bet. So pretty cool. Just sealed, and it's one of those things where I made a point of finding this a few years ago. It wasn't really collecting that much, and I was like, you know what? For nostalgia purposes, this is something I want to have, and I want to keep, and I think it's cool.
It
So
is cool, man. It's
yeah,
86 Donruss there.
yeah, I love it. So
How many cards were in that set?
ooh, let's find out. I think there was
Did they break the 700 mark, you think, in the 80s?
yeah,
Like,
it was like six, maybe 708, something like that. So
yeah,
I've got a
and at that point in my high school, because I was sophomore at that point, I was driving, so money went to gas and to vehicle instead of cards for me. So, you were still collecting, I was buying car parts and gas, trying to get around town.
Yeah. Well, there's things that you would pick up as you go. I think I got that for like $40, something like that. And I was like, you know what? That's cool.
That's not breaking the bank, man.
No,
That's
no. Yeah. Back in the days when, before kids, $40, sometimes you could make that happen.
Sometimes you could, yeah, do this, squeeze a little extra hobby dollars out of those 40 bucks. Well,
But
let me ask you this, man, because we're kind of
yeah,
winding down now. Um, do you want me to go with a Stump Patrick or a thought-provoking question, or do you want to show off some cards? How do you want to do this?
hey, let's do a stump Patrick if you want, or do we? Let's see. I don't know. I'm gonna let you decide. You decide what you want to do.
I was throwing that to you. How about this? You show off some quick cards, and then from that stack there.
Oh, so some of these are the 86 Donners that I just showed you. So
Oh,
these
okay.
these are the
Okay.
ones I was talking about earlier that I wanted to show. So I was going to do my show and tell of the set. So
Ah, I see now, man.
yeah, yeah,
So you know for sure you've got three full sets, and then you
yeah,
probably got a bunch of partial sets and dupes everywhere.
yeah. I'd invite people to dive into that and go take a look at them again, because when we talked about showing this set, and I was like, yeah, I want to talk about it. It brought back a lot of memories. It was a lot of fun. So I like going through them.
When you did the 84 Donruss, that you still, that is a classic design, and the Mattingly card is one that I still want to find and add to my collection because I think that kind of symbolizes that him, that card, that era, that year. The
Yeah,
84 Topps looks good. That Donruss looks really good.
yeah, yeah. I like it. And the 85 that was shoved in between 84 and 86. It was a cool looking set as well. Maybe we'll get into that one next time.
All right.
So
Well, here we go, man. Easiest Stump Patrick question ever.
okay.
All right. Going back to 1989 Bowman baseball. So
Ooh.
what makes Bowman baseball cards from 1989 unique? Do you want to throw out your answer now, or do you want to hear your choices?
They were larger in size, right?
If you said they were larger in size, similar to Tall Boy, quarter inch too tall for your binders, you are correct.
Yeah, they were. I thought I remember having a Bo Jackson and a Ken Griffey Jr. and I had them separated out, and they always were the ones I see first because I could never get them into anything. So they never fit into the box properly. so,
Man, well, Patrick, see,
so
I
yeah,
didn't something,
definitely,
man.
man.
You knew the answer before I even throw it out there, man.
Yeah, and was it Edgar Martinez's rookie? Was that 89 Bowman, if I'm not mistaken, as well?
Could
The
be,
Hall of
man.
Famer.
Interesting, man. Well, here's the deep thought question, the provoking question. You have 1 minute to answer. For you, which team had the most dominating performance ever in the Super Bowl?
Ooh,
Which team would you go with? I know my answer. What
I'm
would
gonna
you
go.
go?
I'm gonna go with the. I'm
Team
trying to
of the
wrap.
year. Team of the
Let me
season.
think. Let me think real quick. But before, I mean, wow, it's a toss up. But I may do the 85 Bears.
You're doing 85 Bears.
Yeah, I think I do the 85 Bears, and that was a tough one because there's also something written on your shirt, which was a dominating Super Bowl victory as well.
That would be a good one, but I'm not even going with my Cowboys.
No,
I'm
you're
gonna
gonna
have to go
go.
with the 72 Dolphins.
Ooh, that's a good one too. So I was racking my brain on some of those older Super Bowls, and
I'm thinking a
yeah,
perfect season,
yeah,
Super Bowl win. No, yeah, how much more dominating can you get than that?
that's correct. Yep,
So,
that's right.
not to get the iron the wrath of the Patriots fans, but yeah, and I'm not even really a Dolphins fan, but Greg Smith over at Stream of Card Consciousness, that's his team. I'm gonna tip my
Yeah,
hat off to the Dolphins of 72.
and let's take this full circle. Who did the Bears beat in the '85 Super Bowl?
Patriots.
Yeah,
Yeah, Steve Grogan years.
yeah, that's right. I mean, they had some good players. I mean,
Oh yeah.
I was kind of hoping they would beat the Bears, but the Bears were just too dominant. I mean, that defense, Buddy Ryan's defense was Richard Dent,
They were
Steve
on a mission,
Michael.
man.
I mean, just amazing. Singletary in the middle. I mean, Wilbur Marshall. I mean, they had some great players. So,
Well, on that note, CardBlitz fans, share your thoughts in the comments below. Tell a friend, subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one.
yep. See you guys.